Hi, my name is Julio Rivera. I'm an activist, journalist, adventurer, veteran, television presenter, and businessman. I've covered many of the major historical events going on around the world over the past several years, and after watching regime changes, conflict, and historic elections globally, I've come to the conclusion that the most underreported crisis in the world today can be defined in only one word: malware. That's why I've decided to dedicate my time to educating people everywhere and exposing the dangers that exist on the devices that we've become tethered to and depend on for so many reasons in our day-to-day life. Welcome to This Week in Malware. On This Week in Malware, we'll be covering RansomExx ransomware expands its reach to Linux machines and attacks Brazilian courts. macOS Bundlore Loader avoids detection by hiding its payload within a named fork. And Gmob malware can spy and steal users' bank details from hundreds of Android mobile apps. In November of 2020, RansomExx was involved in the attacks against Brazil's Superior Court of Justice. Also, the RansomExx ransomware operators have expanded their reach by developing a Linux version of the malware. RansomExx is a human-operated ransomware that in June of 2020 was used in an attack on the Texas Department of Transportation. In August of 2020, it infected systems at the multinational technology company Konica Minolta, while in September of 2020, it was involved in an attack against IPG Photonics high-performance laser developer and software provider Tyler Technologies. The new Linux version of RansomExx ransomware is built as an ELF executable named SVC-new that encrypts the target server. According to Kaspersky Labs, after the initial analysis, we noticed similarities in the code of the Trojan, the text of the ransom notes, and the general approach to extortion, which suggested that we had in fact encountered a Linux build of the previously known ransomware family, RansomExx. Upon launching the Trojan, the 256-bit key is generated that encrypts all the victim's files that it can reach using the AES block cipher in ECB mode. The AES key is encrypted by a public RSA-4096 key embedded in the malware's code and appended to all encrypted files. The ransomware lacks other functionalities executed by other Trojans, such as anti-analysis features, C2 communication, and the ability to kill processes. Unlike the Windows version, the Linux strain doesn't wipe free hard drive space. When victims pay the ransom, they receive both a Linux and Windows decryptor with the corresponding RSA-4096 private key and encrypted file extension. In the fall of 2020, Brazil's Superior Court of Justice was temporarily shut down by RansomExx. The ransomware attack forced a temporary shutdown of the court's information technology network. The Superior Court of Justice announces that the court's information technology network suffered a hacker attack this Tuesday during the afternoon when the 6 group classes judgment sessions were taking place. The presidency of the court has already called the federal police to investigate the cyber attack, announced STJ President Humberto Martins in an official statement on the Supreme Federal Court's website. The attack was discovered on November 3rd of 2020, and IT staff shut down the court's network to prevent the spread of malware. All court sessions, virtual and by video conference, were either suspended or canceled until the court's network security was restored. As a result of this devastating attack, the websites for several Brazilian federal government agencies were also forced to go offline. "2020 has been a landmark year for new developments in macOS threat actor tactics. These include shifts to shell scripts, using alternative programming languages like Rust and Go, and notably, bypassing Apple's notarization security checks through stenography. Many of these new techniques exploit new changes and developments. Still, one newer technique takes the opposite tact and leverages legacy technology that has been around since macOS 9 to hide its malware payload on macOS 10.15 and beyond. It is referred to as a resource fork. What's a resource fork and why do hackers use it? A resource fork is a named fork, a legacy file system technology used to store structured data like image thumbnails, window data, and code. Instead of storing information in a series of bytes, a resource fork keeps data in a structured record similar to a database. The resource fork does not have a size limit, and the fork is not visible directly in either the Finder or terminal. Unfortunately, many traditional file scanners will not pick up this technique, which has been used to distribute Bundlore. One trait that identifies these kind of files is the extreme length of obfuscated or encrypted code, typically base 64, which is abnormal for legitimate software. By hiding encrypted and compressed files in the name resource fork, hackers hope to evade certain kinds of scanning engines. Bundlore can be found in the wild on sites that offer free versions of popular software, including the My Software Free site. This site gives users a too good to be true free copy of Office 365. Users are informed to remove any current installation of Office and download a free trial from Microsoft, and then download the quote required files from the malicious site to obtain a quote full version of Office 365 Pro Plus without any limitations. Once victims take the bait, a file named DMG is downloaded to the user's service with a typical Bundlore/Slayer dropper. The technique of hiding malware in a file's resource fork is the latest trick utilized by macOS malware authors to evade defensive tools. Although it is not particularly sophisticated and pretty easy to spot, it's a creative way to bypass certain tools not supported by dynamic and static AI detection methods. Brazil-based hackers have recently expanded their operations worldwide with a new banking Trojan targeting Android users in multiple Latin American and European countries and may soon hit US users. Kaspersky Labs recently discovered the Gmob remote access Trojan while investigating another malware campaign. Kaspersky describes the malware as arriving on mobile devices via emails purporting to be about an outstanding debt. Victims click on an embedded link in the email and end up downloading the Trojan on their devices. Once installed, Gmob sends a successful infection message to an attacker-controlled server. The initial message includes data on the phone model, a list of all apps on the device, and whether the user has implemented lock screen security. The Trojan prompts users to grant it full access rights on the Android device. Once installed, Gmob gives attackers complete remote control of the device. They can take screenshots, use the microphone, and record all typed text. The Trojan can spy on 153 mobile apps, prevent manual uninstallation of apps, and install other apps from any source. Gmob also records and replaces any lock screen pattern the user might have programmed to secure the device. Also, for fingerprint-based authentication, the malware can force a blackout screen on the phone. Because the malware uses the victim's device to execute its crimes, most anti-fraud mechanisms at financial institutions trust the access and accept the device's actions as legitimate. In addition to bank accounts, Gmob also targets applications from financial services companies, exchanges, and cryptocurrencies. Who is behind Gmob? The group behind the Gmob malware is Gmob, a Brazilian hacking group associated with a set of 4 banking Trojan families collectively referred to as Tetrade. In the past, the group has focused mostly on mobile users in Brazil, but now the group has begun aggressively expanding its operations and is now a threat in countries including Angola, Germany, Paraguay, Peru, and Portugal. You know, as I think about the dangers that exist online, not unlike the subjects we learned about in this video, I know I feel a lot better having an anti-malware program like SpyHunter installed in my PC, providing me the protection I need against malware, and I think you should too. SpyHunter 5's strongest features are found in its malware repair capabilities. SpyHunter 5's remediation algorithms dive deep into your system to remove and address complex malware issues affecting PCs today. While many anti-malware products only flag and quarantine malware and ultimately fail to fully remediate the root problem, the SpyHunter 5 remediation algorithm detects, quarantines, and programmatically repairs malware problems on your PC. SpyHunter 5 is a powerful PC utility that repairs malware threats in many cases where other competing anti-malware and antivirus programs may fail. To detect and remove malware for free, go to enigmasoftware.com and download SpyHunter today. Thanks for watching.